Before all that, I don't know about you, but I want you to ask yourself whether it's millionaire footballers waxing lyrical about the nasty Tories whilst accepting work from dodgy authoritarian regimes, or millionaire Hollywood lovies telling us all about the need to be more compassionate when it comes to refugees, from mansions with more bedrooms than Versailles. I'm sick to death of the virtue signalling and the hectoring. Have a listen to this glistening array of millionaires for the Refugee Council.
You're a mother fleeing with your toddler and a baby from bombs falling on your home. You're a criminal.
You're an elderly grandmother, you have trouble walking, and you're trying to reunite with family. You're a criminal.
The sanctimonious screeching from the lefty lovies comes days after Home Secretary Suella Braverman committed to deporting anyone who doesn't enter the UK through government-sanctioned routes. So come of those who are actually travelling across the English Channel, they won't be able to claim asylum once they arrive here. And if you ask me, that's absolutely the right approach. As much as the Guardian reading Twitter classes might argue otherwise. Just for my radio listeners, this is a Guardian piece that says, "Think Priti Patel was bad. Suella Braverman wants to make claiming asylum near impossible." Well, folks, the cost of Britain's asylum system to the British taxpayer has soared to a whopping £2.1 billion. That's an increase of £756 million, or 56%, over the previous year. Why should we, as taxpayers, hard-pressed taxpayers, squeezed to a pulp, be expected to offer bed, board and benefits to those entering our country illegally? How do we know these people share our values? How many are here to engage in criminality? It's an utter farce that we view those travelling from France as people escaping a war-torn nation. Last time I checked, the only thing you'll be attacked by in France is cholesterol after a diet of cheese baguettes and wine. We in Britain don't treat those struggling as criminals. Genuine refugees can make an application, and if they're genuinely fleeing war and terror, then fine, hunky-dory, happy days, you're accepted. However, economic migrants escaping centrist dad Emmanuel Macron of France are treated like criminals because guess what? They're paying people traffickers to break the law and illegally enter our country. It's absolutely right that those with precious little regard for the laws of our land are precluded from benefiting from the generosity of our taxpayers. Throughout my life, the British people have sought political leaders who've promised to bring down immigration, bringing it under control in this country after a spate of terror attacks, a lack of integration into British life, and the depression of the wages of our least well-off. It's about time that they finally got what they continuously vote for. It barely featured during the summer's Tory leadership election. And the Brexit vote was in large part such a shock to the political and media class in Britain because the British people finally said a stern no to their wishes. It was a stern no in favour of British voters receiving the right to decide what happens here in Britain. And what we want is a common sense approach to migration and asylum. And make no mistake, a failure to get serious on Borderless Britain will see the Conservative Party reduced to such a backbench political party that it's fallen off the aforementioned bench. We all know that the Labour Party are much more relaxed, supremely relaxed, about our porous borders. But if the Tories continue to refute the Home Secretary when she calls for Britain to be free from the clutches of European courts and actually take back the ability to make our own rules, well, folks, they'll be relegated to the dustbin of electoral history. From bodacious Boris and his 80-seat majority to lifeless Liz and her parliamentary party of pygmies. So how, Liz? Back Suella. Your Home Secretary gets that offering sanctuary to genuine refugees is A-OK, but continuing unfettered access and bed, board and benefits for those who purport to be so ain't OK. Now, following her speech at the Conservative Party conference this week, Suella Braverman revealed plans for new laws which will impose a blanket ban on anyone deemed to be entering the UK illegally, from seeking refuge or asylum. It comes after the government's plan to deport anyone considered to have arrived in the UK illegally to Rwanda was, of course, stalled following an intervention by the European Court of Human Rights. So how feasible is this idea by the new Home Secretary, and is it legal?